Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Paul's View. I am Paul Schwartz. Today's topic is going to be taxes. Whose taxes? Your taxes. You've done your taxes. April 15th has come and gone. Let me see by a show of hands, and yes, I can't see you, how many people here listening to this video, how many people have higher taxes this year than they did last year? I see many hands go up. You know what that's called? That is called a tax hike. When you pay more this year than you did last year, you got hit with a tax hike. Simple math. If you deduct less, you pay more. If you deduct more, you pay less. So who's the culprit here? Well, the federal tax plan is the ultimate culprit because it was never designed to help the middle class, Maryland middle class taxpayer. 83%, as you well know, of the benefit went to the top 1%. 63% of the benefit of the federal tax plan went to the top 1/10 of 1%. However, even though it wasn't designed to help the middle class taxpayer, it certainly was not designed to help the coffers of the blue state like Maryland Treasury. And that is exactly what happened. So on the one hand, who caused the problem? The federal tax plan. Who has to fix the problem? It's your legislators, your government in Annapolis, and they have done nothing over the last 2 years. That tax plan went into effect in February of 2017. We are now in June, approaching June of 2019, and nothing was done. Basically, what that tax plan resulted in is an additional $409 million to the coffers of Blue State, Maryland, and another $356 million is scheduled for next fiscal year. All right. So what have they done? As I said, they did nothing. Governor Hogan had indicated that he was going to, after this went into effect, make us whole. Those are his words. When we contacted his office this year to find out if he's going to do anything, the answer from his office was, well, they tried last year and nothing came of it. And to his credit, he did try last year, but you got to try this year as well. Who else? The state legislators, every single one of them. There was legislation to try to mitigate the impact. What was that legislation? Basically, what the federal tax plan did is it increased the standard deduction at the federal level, as well as taking away a lot of the middle class tax deductions. They put a cap on it at $10,000. There were a lot of other middle class tax deductions that went away. And the idea was by increasing the standard, you wouldn't need to itemize. The problem is that if you take the higher standard deduction of $24,000 for a family, which, by the way, is not really that big of a deal, because even though previously it was $12,000, they also did away with the personal exemptions, which were $4,000 each for you and your spouse. That means that you're comparing 24 to 20,000, not 24 to 12. Regardless, if you take the standard deduction, the increased standard at the federal level, you must, because in Maryland, you have to then take the standard at the state level, which is minuscule. So, easy fix. Decouple the item is the state from the federal. That would mean that even if you take the higher standard at the federal, you can still itemize at the state level. However, Senate Bill 906 and House Bill 327, which did exactly that, allowed you to itemize at the state level, even if you took the higher standard at the federal level. That was not even able to get out of committee, the Ways and Means Committee in the House and the Budget and Taxation Committee in the Senate. So who do you blame for this? You have to blame your legislators. You have to hold them accountable for doing nothing, for taking the money and running. Now, what did they do with that $409 million? They put it, at least a significant portion of it, towards implementing the Kerwin Commission findings. Might be a good cause, but you have to understand that wasn't the government's money. It was your money. That's money that you would have gotten back either in an increased refund, or you would have had to pay less if the federal tax plan never went into effect. So the state is playing with your money. So what do you have to do? You have to hold them accountable. When they come to get your vote as a taxpayer, you have to find out from them why they didn't support the legislation that would have at least mitigated the impact of that federal tax plan on the Maryland middle-class taxpayers. That's your job, because it's your money, and never lose sight of that. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you find this not just useful information, but inspiring enough that you do something when the next time your state legislator comes to get your vote at some function. Stay tuned next time for another edition of Paul's View.